ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله العلي القدير من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن سيدنا وإمامنا وقائدنا محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه وخليله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين من ربه تبارك وتعالى. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. أما بعد، قال تعالى في محكم التنزيل: إنا عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. Dear brothers and sisters, fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the Most High and fulfill the trust you were entrusted with. In translation of the first verse that I recited, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had offered the amana, the trust, to the heavens, to the earth, to the mountains, but they declined to bear it and were afraid of it. Yet man agreed to bear it, and he was indeed unjust and ignorant. Dear brothers in Islam, fulfill the trust that you agreed to bear by doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered you to do. Worship Him and fulfill His rights over you. Do not betray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger, nor betray knowingly the trust that were entrusted to you. Exceeding the proper bounds of His trust as well as neglecting it lead to betraying it, and this betrayal of trust is a defect in the faith and the cause of loss and deprivation. The Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام قال في حديث صحيح لا إيمان لمن لا أمانة له. In translation, the Muslim has no faith who cannot keep a trust. And also عليه الصلاة والسلام said آية المنافق ثلاث إن حدث كذب وإن وعد أخلف وإن اؤتمن خان وإن صلى وصام وزعم أنه مسلم. In translation, the signs of a hypocrite are three. When he speaks, he lies. When he promises, he reneges. And when he is entrusted with anything, he betrays. And he said, عليه الصلاة والسلام, also in this manner, إذا جمع الله الأولين والآخرين يوم القيامة يرفع لكل غادر لواء فيقال هذه غدرة فلان. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gathers the first of the people and the last of the people on the day of judgment, He will raise a flag for every betrayer. Then it will be said, this is the betrayal of such and such a person. To his regret and disgrace, this flag will be raised for the betrayer to expose him in front of all of the people on the day of judgment. Dear brothers and sisters, trust. Trust is in worship, in transactions, and in behavior. Keeping trust in worship is by obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a pure intention, following His messengers alayhi salatu wasalam, and abiding by His orders, avoiding His prohibitions, and fearing Him openly and secretly. You should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regardless of whether people can see you or not. So, do not be one of those who fear Him in the open, but when you are alone, you're disobeying Him. That's indeed what are we calling a riya, being dishonest in your intentions by showing off. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows the fraud of the eyes and that the breast conceal. And He is disapproved of those who behave in that way. قال تعالى في محكم الكتاب أم يحسبون أنا لا نسمع سرهم ونجواهم بل رسلنا لديهم يكتبون. In translation, or do they think that we hear not of their secrets and their private counsels? Yes, and our messengers are by them to record. وقال تعالى أيضا أولا يعلمون أن الله يعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون. In translation, know they, and he means the Jews in this verse to be specific, knows they not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that they conceal and what they reveal. وقال أيضا يستخفون من الناس ولا يستخفون من الله وهو معهم إذ يبيتون ما لا يرضى من القول وكان الله بما يعملون محيطا. In translation, they may hide their crimes from men, but they cannot hide them from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For He is with them by His knowledge when they plot by night words that He does not approve, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ever encompass what they do. The previous part was like trust in worship, how we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and give the ultimate trust. In behavior, to keep the trust is to treat people the way you like them to treat you, being sincere to you, and as you would do. It's also to safeguard their rights, whether related to money or any other thing. which you are being entrusted with. And also, as a behavior, a trust in behavior, there is something that is very important, like for us, that there is a trust, or the most important trust in behavior is the trust between the husband and his wife. Keeping the trust in each one of them should safeguard the other's property and secrets. Every husband and every wife must keep what occurs between them in terms of intimate relations secret. No one else should know about it. In an authentic hadith, عليه الصلاة والسلام قال: إن من أشر الناس عند الله يوم القيامة الرجل يفضي إلى امرأته وتفضي إليه ثم ينشر أحدهما سر صاحبه. In translation, one of the worst people on the day of judgment is the man who would have intimate relationships with his wife, and she would have the same with him. Then both of them, or one of them, would disclose the secrets of his partner. The husband and wife would trust one another not to disclose their private and intimate relationships between them, yet one of them would betray this trust, this like an explanation. Or one of the two would confide something that he or she would not like anyone else to know. However, the other spouse would disclose it to the other people. This is not only applied to couples, it also applies to friends in terms of one confiding something to another. And in this regard, عليه الصلاة والسلام قال: إذا حدث الرجل رجلا بحديث ثم التفت فهو أمانة. If a man tells another something and turns his face around, then this thing is a trust. As he would not turn his face around if this talk was not a secret that he wanted no one to hear. Trust is also involved in transactions and in commercial exchanges as well, which includes buying, selling, and renting. The seller could not betray the buyer in terms of increasing the price, for example, or covering the defects of the commodity, cheating on describing the commodity, or reducing the weight or measure. On the other hand, the buyer must not betray the seller by taking some of the price off, defaulting on a debt, or doing anything in paying his dues while he is able to pay. The renter must not betray the rentor by taking away some of the utilities or facilities that were agreed on to be provided in the rent contract. Likewise, the tenant should not cheat the renter by reducing the rent amount, declining to pay, for example, or destroying something in the rented item, whether it's a house, shop, machine, or even a vehicle. Every person in charge of any department, for example, or holding any responsibility is a trustee. He, therefore, must safeguard his trust. Let's have some examples. A judge is a trustee. A governor is a trustee. Or a director or manager of any department are also a trustee. Then they all must take on the responsibilities that are involved in these trusts and manage them in a manner that will benefit and safeguard these trusts, all according to their utmost abilities. Another examples for trustees. A guardian of orphan is a trustee. The trustees of waqf, what's the waqf? Is the administrators of Islam endowment, and the legal guardians and implement the wills are also trustee, who must attend the responsibility of their trusts to the best of their ability. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الشكور. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا كما أمر وأشكره وهو الكفيل بالزيادة لمن شكر وأصلي وأسلم على إمام ربيعة ومضر يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. There is another subject in trust that may concern us to be specific as students and also as supervisors, like in this university. So the trust is also involved in education process at schools and universities. Those who are in charge, whether they are directors, supervisors, or principals, should keep in mind the issues of fulfill their trust and duties. This may be done by selecting useful textbooks, subjects, and hiring a pious and righteous teachers and lecturers who are about teaching the students and giving lectures useful with the materials. And it doesn't matter like what this studies is, if it's religious studies, science, or any other subject, looking after them in terms of behavior, discipline, conducting and Islamic duties is a trust. If we're keeping the trust in our education establishments at all levels, this will benefit the whole nation. This will also benefit every person involved in the process. The students, the supervisors who are in charge, as they fulfill their duties, and the students who will thereby reach a high level of education and knowledge, and not just receive a certificate or title. Keeping the trust in the end will benefit the knowledge itself, and that it will be strengthened and increased. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to fulfill the trust and successful bear of responsibility we have upon us. And may subhanahu wa ta'ala He prevent us from falling into betraying the trust or neglecting it. Within this, I concluded and asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive our sins and seek His forgiveness, for He is all forgiving and merciful. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا كربا إلا نفسته ولا عيبا إلا أخفيته. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين. اللهم آتي أنفسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. عباد الله اتقوا الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. وأستغفر الله وأقم الصلاة.